It's time for the NBA, live on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan alongside Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg.
It's been a nice clean game, huh?
For the Miami Heat, they are coming off a good outing against the Pacers in Indiana.
How about the athleticism on display defensively in that win?
Yeah, it was reflected in their shot block total, Greg. I mean, they were very disruptive, which I think is a combination of hustle and muscle.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's check out who's on the floor, courtesy of Gatorade. So for Toronto right now, Mr. Clutch out there with DeRozan. Then there's Jonas Valanciunas. Then it's Scola, and it's Carroll in at the 3 spot. And it's Whiteside with the rebound. And it's the Heat with the ball. Doris Burke has an update for us. Doris?
Yes, Kevin, I spoke briefly with Eric Spoelstra. He told me there aren't many big men with the mobility and length of Jonas Valanciunas, and that he's a player they'll really have to account for, saying, quote, JV's still developing his skill set, but there just aren't that many people in the world of his size. When you factor in his motor, he can really impact the game. Guys, we'll see how they try to deal with him.
All right, Doris, thank you very much.
Well, I think it's been said about 1,000 times now how Coach Spoelstra started as a video coordinator with the Heat, but he's been with the organization for so long, they are starting to become synonymous.
Now here's Green after the miss by Luol Deng. Over Valanciunas. Green missing again. On defense, the Heat. Clark, they've been looking out of sync offensively.
You know what? A basket here would do a lot for their confidence.
Count that one. Greg, as you said, Spoelstra has been with the Heat for so long now in his 8th season. He was handpicked by Pat Riley to lead the team. Riley, Clark kind of molded him in his image.
Yeah, and it was clear that Pat Riley believes in him and continues to believe in him. Coach Spoelstra has had very high expectations on his shoulders ever since taking over the team, and he's actually lived up to them.
And Whiteside sends it back. We're just about 2 minutes into the first quarter. And so the ball out of bounds. Scola touched it last.
And you know what, just a little too much heat on that pass for him to come up with the steal.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, that was going to be a tough catch for either one of them.
Scola against Bosh. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. Well, a scary moment for Chris Bosh last year. He had to be shut down, Greg, as we all know, for the season after a blood clot was found in his lung.
You know, and Kevin, it really puts basketball in perspective. I mean, it happened right after the trade deadline, and obviously a huge blow to the Heat in terms of their push for the postseason. But fortunately, it looks like he's going to make a full recovery and have a huge impact this season.
He hits the second from the line.
You know, the Heat never really came back after losing Bosh. His presence on both ends of the floor is hard to replace, and they missed him a bunch.
And it's Dragic with the rebound.
And this quarter, he has clearly been off the mark.
The feed to Whiteside. He climbs that one off the back iron, and down it falls. First quarter of ball, almost 2.5 minutes in.
Hey, guys, I know I speak for everybody. Glad to see Chris Bosh back out on the floor. I mean, blood clots can be a very scary thing for anyone. And I think everyone is happy he's been able to make a full recovery.
That one goes. Count. Green's got 6.
Man, he's having quite the quarter, converting at a really high percentage.
Time to finish it off.
That is as athletic a move as you're going to see right there, folks. Unbelievable.
Clark, what about the hang time?
You're talking about hang time. That fella had helium in those shoes.
And you're going to need some hang time to pull off that kind of a 360.
That was a nice replay brought to you by Kia.
And with room like that off the pick, you have got to knock that one down.
You know, they did everything right, Greg. They executed. All you want is a good look at the basket. Sometimes the shots just don't fall. There's a chance he could have a big game if they don't DM up more tightly on the perimeter.
And the whistle blows. It's going to be on DeMar DeRozan. That's his first foul. A different look for Miami. Amari Stoudemire is checked in for Whiteside. Winslow comes in for Gerald Green. And it's Chalmers in for Goran Dragic. Now, here's Chalmers. Now, 14-point game for him in the win against Indiana.
You know, he might be small for a center, But it doesn't really matter because he can jump out of the building.
And the Miami Heat have finished in the top 2 spots or better in each of the years the big three were in town. Last season that changed as they would end up 10th in that Eastern Conference.
So it's Miami now after the Raptors pick up 2. There's a screen. Winslow wide open. He fires. No good from outside. Toronto, they've gone 4 for 9 from the field to start this game off. DeRozan's shot is good.
I tell you what, the post play has been rock solid right off the bat.
It really has, and they've created a lot of high percentage shots in the paint here already.
Now here's Dang. He points his last outing. Now here's Chalmers. He's covered closely. The wide open look here for Bosch. And he's good on that 3-ball.
You know, his ability is matched only by his energy, guys. I mean, he's usually in the middle of everything for his team.
Here's Mr. Clutch. And it's Miami with the rebound. This, their first look at this year's Toronto squad.
And this game kicks off a 4-game season series between the two teams.
2 conference foes, guys, looking to take game 1 tonight. It's very interesting to see who can land the first blow.
Bosch, that's good.
Just no chance for the smaller defender to block that shot.
He's really, really good at using his size to free himself up for those mid-range jumpers. A master at it.
I tell you, he has some impressive moves in his...
Neither team able to build much of a lead up to this point as we start the second quarter. And when you consider how the Heat are doing, guys, what jumps out to you, stats-wise?
Just the way they've been able to pound that backboard. I think that's been the difference.
Establishment of a good low-post presence, a big part of the success.
We've got Stoudemire. Josh McRoberts out there with Winslow. Then there's Dragic, and it's Chalmers in at the shooting guard. So that's who Miami starts the second with. And one thing about Mario Chalmers last season, he really had to play a different role. And it took him some time to get used to it.
Yeah, anytime your team loses a superstar like LeBron James, other guys get asked to do a little bit more. Mario was asked to be more of an aggressive scorer, a role that isn't so easy to jump into after 6 years of being that 4th or 5th option in the offense.
Stoudemire lays it up and in off the prettiest list. Stoudemire's got the second quarter going with the first basket of the period for the Heat. Now here's Carey. He's guarded closely. Some nice ball movement here by the Raptors. Here's DeRozan. Another miss by DeRozan.
Well, going back to Mario Chalmers last year, guys, I mean, having to take on more of a scoring role was tough for him. His field goal percentage dropped 50 points from the season before. His 3-point percentage dropped even more. His assist numbers were down. Well, I bet you part of that was the fact LeBron was no longer there.
And the rejection by Valanciunas. Fast break Toronto. DeRozan leading the charge. And Carroll gets it to go.
No doubt that is within his range.
Well, I would hope so. He's a pro, and it was only a 1-footer. Come on now.
And on the topic of Chalmers, you know, he's a complimentary player. He can be up, he can hit the open 3. He's been known to hit big shots, a solid finisher, and that is valuable. But when you ask him maybe to do a little too much, then you're not playing to his strength.
Catching up on the changes with Miami. Whiteside comes in for Amari Stoudemire. And it's Green in for Mario Chalmers.
And let's see, guys, if that triggers another little explosion from him after hitting 3 triples in that first quarter.
And here are the Heat now. Raptors knocking down the tray.
Those are the kind of nice inside looks they've gotten in the first half here.
And I think they should continue to work the ball down low, Clark. It's really going to free up their outside shooting.
Well, Heat have gone 2 of 4 shooting the ball here in the second. There's Winslow. Feeds it to McRoberts. On the wing, Green. Goes up again. And that one goes long. Last outing for Toronto, they won that game against Orlando.
And even in hostile territory, as they were that day, they had no jitters at all. I mean, the confidence kept growing as the shots kept falling.
And they were falling big time. I mean, from the top to the bottom of that roster, everybody was locked, loaded, and spraying jumpers.
Miami trailing.
Boy, once again, the Raptors were able to put forth a really strong year. You know, the national media recognized it. The Raptors picked up more and more of the spotlight marquee games as a result.
Dragic with it. Now guarded by DeRozan. They get the rebound. And Green gets it to go. Green's got it all tied up now for the Heat.
His hard work on the backboard really just has given them more opportunities to score.
And Scola, here we go now. Outside DeRozan. Pass to Mr. Clutch. Lets it go. Again, Toronto. Well, for a long time, Greg, the Raptors didn't have a lot of nationally broadcast games in the U.S. Seemed like a forgotten team at times, unfortunately.
Yeah, and you know what? A playoff drop is one of the ways that's ended that factor. Also, the team plays an exciting brand of basketball. They're a division winner to go along with that, so you start adding those things up, and you see why the Raptors continue to get more and more coverage nationally.
Catching up on the changes with Miami. Chris Bosh is checked in for Josh McRoberts, and it's Dang in for Winslow. 6 on the shot clock. Pushing it up by himself. Oh, down it goes, jamming that one home.
I don't know that this is the time for that kind of flair. In a close game, the important thing is the 2 points, not the dramatic.
Oh, come on, Clark. He had to go for it, didn't he?
Yeah, but hey. He's an athlete, and I can't call him. If he missed it, I might have.
Here's Green. The Raptors getting the buck. Bosh, the screen. 5 to shoot. Dang up top. That's the right side. Bounces high off the rim and drops. Whiteside's got his second basket of the night. Raptors with the lead.
Clearly a 2-for-1 situation here, guys.
Oh, without question, Greg. I mean, the wise move would be to get themselves a quick shot so they have an opportunity to get that 2-for-1.
Shot game clock separated by 5. And Green gets it to go.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
Well, I agree with you. 4 of their last 5 baskets have been exactly of that variety.
Here's Mr. Clutch. And 3 chances on that possession, but they just couldn't find a way to score. Here's Dragic. That's short off the rim.
That's a shot he's got to hit. You don't get many looks better.
It's all tied.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Ernie Johnson here again with Kenny Smith, and it was a closely contested first quarter for Miami. The biggest lead for them during the period was 6. They couldn't hold on to the slim lead they... All right, and that'll do it for us here. We now take you back to the second half of our game. Kevin Harlan ready with the call.
We have a close ball game on our hands as we get set for the second half of basketball. What can you say, Mr. Clutch? An impressive effort here today.
That special mentality was on display in that first half. He got to the rim consistently.
Boy, I tell you what, he's got that great first step, and he must have had some quickness porridge or something because he looks a little faster today than normal.
And on the floor for Dwayne Casey starting the second half. They've got Damari Carroll out. DeRozan out there with Mr. Clutch. Then there's Jonas Valanciunas and Scola in at the power forwards position. And DeRozan. There we go. And it's good. Fought through contact. It's the shot. He'll go to the free throw line.
You know, there's no better sign of how efficiently a team is operating than their assist number. And theirs are fantastic.
Just beautiful when they play the game like this.
The thing about DeMar DeRozan, he came into the league fairly unpolished. Struggled to handle the ball, created in his own shot, and but sometimes he would create for others too. But he's settled down. You can see the growth.
Yeah, and that's the one thing. You could see the physical talent was there in terms of him playing the 2. The question was, could he make the commitment mentally to become a great player? Well, from what he's done the last few years, I would have to say he's definitely been able to do that.
And here's Bosh through the three-pointer by DeMar DeRozan, but he stays with it. The baseline J off the mark.
Major defensive lapse right there. He's not a player you can leave open for a jump shot. You got to stay attached to him. They're lucky he couldn't punish them for it.
The Raptors shooting their second and third free throws tonight.